Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us. This is across North America. We had especially good morning to our friends from the West Coast. You guys woke up extra early today to see our tutorial. I wanted to do a quick introduction as well as the agenda for today's discussion because it is jam-packed. I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorials and actually sharing my screen and working through Followupboss and some of the other extensions I'm going to be speaking about. But my name is Tyler. I am the VP of Operations for FTGU Academy, which is a training academy for sales professionals in real estate, so realtors, mortgage brokers, as well as insurance agents. And we wanted to create this webinar today because 2024 is right around the corner. And one aspect in my experience, or one part of the business in my experience that I think all realtors and sales professionals should be working on as the new year is entering, is their database and their CRM platform. And we wanted to actually go through and do a live tutorial of Followupboss. What I'm going to be speaking about today first is overall what a CRM is, and what you can use it for to help your business a little bit, to streamline some of your processes. Second, I'm going to be talking about cleaning up your database, ways to approach this. I know sometimes it seems like a big task, but if you can take a few steps in cleaning up your database, it's just going to be that much more lean, that much more ready to actually go and prospect. Third, I'm going to be sharing my screen and showing you how to import leads into Followupboss, navigate Followupboss's main page, as well as the client profile page, create email templates, sending out mass marketing emails, as well. Lastly, I'll be showing you how to add automation through activity plans in Followupboss. Two main automation systems that I'll be showing you how to add into is first, your new lead flow. I call it the welcome to the family. Second, how to queue up and prospect every quarter through a general follow-up automation. Before I share my screen, I did want to talk a little bit about CRMs. I'm not sure if everyone listening or watching today has Followupboss or they use another CRM platform. This tutorial will be applicable more to Followupboss users, but still, I think the fundamental aspects of what I'm going to be speaking about today does apply for all. I would say right now, the big three CRM platforms that I'm noticing realtors and mortgage brokers have and use is first Followupboss, second, Sphere or KV Core, if you're with Roller Page, and third is HubSpot. And all three give you the ability to streamline your business and to do the simple CRM aspects that I'm going to be speaking about today. But where you actually trigger and where you actually go in and communicate with your system is so different. The following webinars we will be producing will be actually on Sphere as well as HubSpot. So what is a CRM? A CRM is a customer relationship management tool. And it is where every single realtor should be every single day they're working in the office. There's not a day that goes by that I do not open up my CRM platform, go to my tasks, go to my new leads that enter into the database, as well, send mass marketing emails throughout. You could do a lot with the CRM. Again, so you can organize your day. You can send one-on-one emails as well as mass marketing emails. As well, you can create some of these simple automations that help streamline your business. The main starting point, I think, for all realtors, especially if you already do have a CRM platform, is to clean up your database. And to do that, I would recommend first and foremost, exporting any lead that is already in your CRM platform. Export it. You'll be able to download a Microsoft Excel file or a CSV and go through one by one. Is this lead someone that you want in your database? Have you connected with them recently over the past, call it 6 months to a year? Is this someone that you want to see your emails or you want to have one-on-one conversations with? If the answer is no, delete them out. The numbers is something, the numbers of leads in your database is something that a lot of realtors focus on. Personally, in my experience, I believe a nurtured, warm database, even if you have 25% of that original number, is more important and will bear more results than that large number of cold leads. So first, again, export, go one by one. If you haven't spoken to them in a few months, give them a call. Let them know what you're going to be sending out. Let them know what's going on in the market. Engage with your community. And if they want to stay in touch, keep them on that spreadsheet. If not, delete them. Once you have a clean list, you're then going to import them back into your CRM platform. And this is where I'm going to actually start the tutorial with Followupboss. If anybody has questions, because there is a lot I'm going to be doing on the computer, just ask them in the chat. And at the end of the conversation today, I'll go and have a little bit of Q&A with everyone. So let me go and share my screen. You should now be able to see my screen. I'm going to be going through first how to mass import leads into Followupboss. And what you can see here is a simple Excel spreadsheet of headers that you should use for Followupboss specifically. And it's really important that I touch on that a little bit, because depending on the CRM platform you use, the import process could change, mainly with the headers. Like, for example, with Followupboss, all you need is simple, first name, last name, email, phone number, simple headers. But a CRM platform like Sphere, for example, or KV Core, for example, you'll need to add consent headers. It's important to know what headers your CRM platform needs when you're importing, so you can import a clean database. And to do that and to know what you need in your specific CRM platform, what I would recommend doing is just going into the FAQ section of your CRM platform. They usually have an import section, an import question there. So for Followupboss specifically, the typical headers that you'll need is first name, last name, email, phone number. Notes lives in the notes section, which I'll talk about afterwards. Background, if you have this filled out, what it will do is it will add to the sidebar of your import. It'll actually create a new contact property. And I would use background for more high-level notes. For example, like a past transaction that you've done with them, for not lead source because you have that here, for quick items that you'll need to see if you're going outbound with them. Stage, there's a few stages in Followupboss. Lead, no matter what you add, if you add a contact into into Followupboss, the first stage that they'll be entered into is lead. Then you have hot prospect, nurture, past client, cold lead. There's a few other stages there, which is important for organization. You can also use this stage for some automation as well, which I'll show you. Lead source, where do they come from? Assigned agent, that's really important because Followupboss has the ability to work with teams. You can enter into ponds. You can enter the lead story into ponds. You can have your team of agents, depending on what you're going to be doing, work individual leads. It's also really important if you're the team manager, if you are running a specific, let's call it a pre-construction condo launch, and you want to have a certain agent working a certain project. With the form submissions through ads or through your website, you can actually create rules. And that's where you can use the assigned agent section here. Next is tags, keep everything organized. One tag that I add to every single CRM platform is bulk list. The reason being is I want to have one tag for every single person in your database, it makes it easier when you send out mass marketing emails. Follow-up makes it a little bit easier where you don't need to have this tag. It's just a habit that I built, especially because I use other CRM platforms in my business and help other realtors that use different CRM platforms. I always just have this rule no matter what I'm importing, which is, a simple tag bulk list. But, a referral is a simple tag, hot lead, general follow-up, past clients. Tags are used to organize. As well, they could be good trigger points for automation. Addresses, home, businesses, and where they live or where they work. Those are the simple columns that you will need, or headers that you will need when you're importing leads into Followupboss. Now, where do you import them? So I'm going to head back to Followupboss. I'm going to go to admin, and I'm going to click this import button here. It's on the top bar beside text templates, import. You're going to step 1, import your contacts, and it's going to ask for a file. I use Google Sheets for my cleanup of my database, let's call it. So what you're going to do is you're going to need to export this file as a CSV. And I'm not sure if you can see me when I click File, Download as a CSV. I'll click that link or that button there, and it'll prompt me to download the right file format for the Excel sheet. I'll then go to Followupboss, again, admin, import, and step 1, import your contacts. We're going to click the file that I've just downloaded. We're going to confirm the opt-in consent so they can receive your emails, your calls, and your texts. And then we're going to hit this Start Import button. You could also manage my file before importing. Let's click that. And then you can actually see, because I use the proper headers, their system automatically noticed that notice because of the header where each property is going to go in their system. But you can also go and let's review it. And if something is wrong, you can say first name. You can switch it to, let's say, for example, if it's not first name, it's date added. You can click to date added. And you can edit this. But if everything looks correct, you hit save and continue. I'm going to switch this to first name again. And we're going to hit save and continue. And then we can add a tag at this point. If you recall, added some tags here. But if you wanted to create a little bit more organization, you can also add a tag, for example, which is new import -2023, for example. And we can create a new tag for this. And then we can start the import button. Now, because I wanted to make sure that we were conscious of everyone's time, I've already done this import. So this is what it would look like once the import has happened. And now I'm going to be going through a client profile specifically. So the import has happened. I now have 8 new leads in Followupboss, my CRM. In this specific, if you click people, in this specific area, you can do a lot of mass actions. So for example, if you highlight them all, you can go and send out a batch email. You could add a calling list. So it'll create a task for you to call them throughout the day. You could add tags or assign agents or update the stage that they're in, as well as obviously you can mass delete. In the specific client file, there's 3 columns. The first column on the left, and it's important to know this, especially when you're prospecting and calling your database, on the first column on the left is more who is this contact? Their name, their phone number, their email address. You can add an address if they don't already have it. The relationship, who are they also connected to in the database? And that's really important if you work with investors. If a husband and wife or 2 partners are purchasing together, if it's a joint venture agreement, and you know that Ching here is with, what's the next person? Ching and Cassandra are together, you could, create a relationship here, either add it specifically, or you can merge with Cassandra. And now we know that their profiles are tied together. And that's also important too when we're talking about general follow-ups. It's important to know, when you're speaking with the other partner, so the calls, the texts, the emails, they don't get redundant at times. Also, the details of the contact itself, what stage are they in? And you can click that to edit it. Where's their source? This one was unspecified, but let's say, for example, we wanted to say that they were a referral. We can do a referral. If it's a new source, we can also do new lead source and say referral from Steven R. And it gets updated here. The agent working the file, obviously used more when you're working with a team. The lender, who they're working with. Right now, I haven't added any lenders, but through Followupboss, because it's made for realtors, you have the ability to also add in different mortgage brokers or collaboration partners or service providers. The price, you can also add in what they're looking for here. The background, just some, again, background I spoke about here. Just some high-level notes on this specific contact. A friend, income property, and Europe. Something like that. Social profile, you have the ability to search chain. You can also, if you have Facebook and Instagram connected through integrations, you can add them here, as well as birthdays, closing anniversaries. These are different prompts for already built-in automation. I personally build custom automation for all of my leads, and especially with closing, but Followupboss has some that are already preset, and you can do that through here. So that's the first column. The second column is where you're going to be spending the majority of your time. You have the ability to create notes, send emails, send texts, as well as log calls and make calls actually through Followupboss. And it's really easy here. This is where you would go and send just one-on-one emails. And the nice thing about it is if you've created your account with something that is either a G Suite or is connected with Microsoft, your emails that you've sent to him automatically go into their contact profile. This gives you the ability to actually not have to be on Gmail, not have to be in Outlook. You can also just spend the majority of time in your CRM platform, which I think it's a good habit to build. You can send texts, you can send template texts if you already have something. Like let's say this is a automated one through a template through Followupboss, but you can just hit send text. As you can see here, there's a number, a 249 number. One thing to note about Followupboss is they create a phone number for you when you register. And if me personally, I send I do manual calls and manual text because I want the prospect or the insider to see my number when I call and when I text. So it's a little bit more of that brand awareness. But if you're okay with having this random 249 number, and you have the ability to change it, but if you're okay with having a number that's not associated with your phone itself, my 416 number, then use it. In my experience, though, it does come off a little bit of spammy, especially on the calling aspect. If I were to call directly here, by just clicking the number and calling, then it does seem like spam numbers. So it's just something to know. So again, in the middle column, you can log notes. That will live here through the filtering aspect. Send emails, send texts, as well as you can log calls. On the right column, this is where there's action items now for the specific contact. Different tasks that you've created or upcoming appointments, which also links up to your calendar. Files is important when you're actually in a deal with somebody. You can load up their BRAs or their listing agreements. If they're in a pre-construction opportunity, you can put their mortgage pre-approval. You can put their original agreement documents here. And that's handy in a few years. When they've lost their original agreement of purchase and sale, you can pull it for them. Deals, and I'll talk about that very briefly. Collaborators, this is when where I was speaking about in regards to lenders and different things that they're working with. Action plans. Action plans I'm going to be touching on, but essentially what an action plan is different sequential emails, calls, tasks that you set up for them. I use action plans more when I look at automation, but you can also manually enroll them into some of those action plans. Like, for example, let's say you have an action plan created for someone looking to buy an income property. You can have emails, calls, texts, tasks set up for you that you don't have to think about some of this manual. Oh, did I send them the available opportunities that I have set up? And you can use action plans. And I'll show you how to build them afterwards. And activity. What activity is the ability, if you have Pixel on your website, you have the ability to track what they're clicking, what they're looking at, how long they've been on your website. It's just data. And I think data points are really important just to see what people are clicking and what they're looking at in your website. But you can also leverage it during your calls. And if you could click this arrow here, it goes to the next person. And that's what you would be doing mostly in their client file. In Followupboss, they're also on the top bar, you'll see an inbox. It automatically connects to your Gmail or to your Outlook, and it'll only pull emails specific on the people in your database. So it keeps it very organized. You have the ability through your inbox to send other emails as well, to text, to call, to reply back. Tasks. This is where I would be living, or you should be living every single day. If you set up the proper automation, you shouldn't think about who do I need to call today. You should just go to your tasks and work on prospecting based off of what the task has been given you. You can look at overdue tasks as well as future tasks. Today tasks is the first thing that you should be looking at. Your calendar. My calendar automatically integrated with my Gmail, and you can see that I have upcoming appointments. And if I had, for example, this call here if I had this appointment and this contact already in Followupboss, I could have went to Michael McMaster's specific client file, and I could have seen this here. I've seen that in there. You can go day, week, or month. Very similar to Gmail calendars, Google Calendars. Deals. This is where you can organize your buyers and your sellers' deals. You could also add a pipeline, and you can create a pipeline. Let's, for example, you're doing a condo, XYZ condos. You can save your pipeline, and you can add different stages. You can add interested lead. Resident. This is for pre-con. 10-day. Whatever your stages are for your organization. And through automation, you can have your contacts funnel through to these different stages. We use this, and our real estate company, REC Canada, we use pipelines for every single launch that we do. And the reason why we do that is we know, based off of our automation and our trigger points to enroll people into these stages, we automatically know, who do I need to call now? Who's on the 10-day? Who's firm? Who's in their 10-day? Who's firm? What emails do I need? Now you can get really slick with the automation. You can send certain emails depending on what stage they're in, or certain tasks depending on what stage they're in. Again, to add in a pipeline, it's really easy. You hit the settings button, add pipeline, and then whatever the pipeline is, the Durham income property workflow. So something like that. Next is reporting. Followupboss has the ability to report, and I'm not going to really touch a lot on it. I think reporting is good to find whatever your main tracked metric is. I think for realtors, a good North Star or a main metric they should be looking at could be number of leads in their database, number of connected calls throughout the year. That's a really important metric. Growth in awareness of your marketing, i.e., taking a look at the trends of opens. And obviously another one could be revenue itself. Lastly is the admin section. Through the admin section, you can do a lot of things. You can create email templates, text templates, which I'm going to be doing next, action plans and automation, which I'm going to be speaking about as well. And you could also create different ponds of leads if you are working with a group of agents. I'm not going to be speaking about that too much, but there's the ability to create some customization there. What I wanted to speak about next is how to send out batch mass emails. And to do that, let's create an email template first. So to create an email template, we're going to click email template. I've already pre-written an email here, which is our welcome to the family email. And I'm going to be using this email for some of the automation. But let me show you how to create this template and how to send it out. So subject is on the top. I'm going to say welcome to the family. Next, I'm going to use the body of the text that's already written here. There's some formatting I'm going to switch, but where it says client name, I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to enter in a merge field. And I want to put their first name here. So I'm going to hit merge field, contact first name, welcome to the family, what to expect. What to expect as an insider. We're going to bullet this. Not going to go too much into the formatting itself, but you can highlight this. Create bullets here. I'm not going to put everything in, but and then lastly, how to add a link in. So let's say, for example, we want to add a booking link here. What I would do is do some text, click here to book, add a text. That's my booking page. Okay, and then I'm going to hit save. You can also add pictures. I'm not going to do that today, but that gives you the ability to do that. Now, how to send out a mass email. There's a few ways you can do it. I'm going to just do it this way, which is you can highlight everyone's name, send batch email. It's actual lead, batch email, and then you can use a template. Create this welcome to the family. Edit it if you'd like. Change some of the spacing and some of the thanks. And then you can preview the email. And you can send right here, send email to 6 people. I would recommend sending out emails purely with value, probably for the majority of your emails. Try to create a good rule of thumb to send out at least a newsletter or educational email, about 12 emails a year. So once a month, we send out an email every other Wednesday at noon or at 5 p.m., depending on what we're sending them. So we actually send out 24 emails a year. And it's that easy. Again, you're going to highlight all, batch email, whatever the template is. You can use a template or you can write it yourself, preview email, and hit send. Start sending emails to your database, and don't be that person that only sends pre-construction opportunity emails, different investment opportunities, or just don't always go for the sale. because the reason being is that your email now has no weight. When a prospect goes and sees your email in the database, in their inbox, they're going to automatically know if all you're sending is salesy emails. They're going to automatically know that it's an opportunity that you're trying to push to them. Send value added emails. And one way to help automate some of this, because copywriting does take a lot of time, is use AI like ChatGPT. Prompt it, let them know what you're trying to send out, and it'll give you the skeleton. It'll save a lot of your time. Next, I wanted to speak about some automation. What I believe Followupboss does really well is the interface is very sleek, it's easy to use, and they give you the ability to automate some of these simple processes that you shouldn't bog yourself down with. The two main types of automation that I would recommend any realtor and mortgage broker to add to their database is a new lead flow, a welcome to the family automation, as well as a general follow-up. Something that automatically prompts you with tasks every quarter to follow up with a specific person. And to do that, what first you need to do is create some templates for the emails. And I wanted to create first the welcome to the family automation. As you can see here, the automation I'm going to be creating is 3 stages: a welcome to the family email, a welcome to the family call, and a concierge service email. The first email we already created in a template, which is welcome to the family. That gets sent out 24 hours or instantly, when a new lead, no matter where they get created from, when a new lead gets added to your database. Next is a call, which I'll talk about when I build the action plans. But lastly is an email that gets sent out 1 week after the lead gets added into your database. And that's a concierge email, a value email. And I'm going to be creating a template for that first. So again, to create a template, I'm going to go to admin, email template, create the template. I'll be really quick. This specific one asks for links to your YouTube. I'm just not going to do that right now because of time, but I've created the template that I want to send. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to admin and I'm going to head over to action plans. Before you can set up automation, you have to create this action plan in Followupboss. So I'm going to create a new action plan. I'm going to call this action plan new lead flow. The first thing based off of this timeline here is we need to send the welcome to the family email. So instantly when someone gets enrolled into this action plan, we want to send an email, the email template. So you have some options here for the action. We're going to send an email. The template that we're going to use is welcome to the family. And it's from me. The next part of this automation is a welcome to the family call. Welcoming them, to your group and going over the services that you offer. I'm going to actually copy this. So that's the skeleton script. So we're going to create a task. The task name is welcome to the call. See if we can add some notes in here. Task type is a call. It's going to be assigned to me. And the welcome to the family, the call itself has a script. If anyone's actually interested in receiving this simple automation, do me a favor, just head to info@ftguacademy.com because I don't have the ability to actually add in this text. Just head to info@ftguacademy.com and just say, I would like to have the template automation or welcome to the family automation, something like that. Now to go back to it, we wanted to create this task 24 hours after someone got added in, a new lead got added into your database. So we're going to run 1 day after. And then the last part of it is your concierge service email. We want to run that 7 days after. So that's on the 7th day. We're going to send an email. Again, we're going to click the email that we created in the template, which is your concierge email. And the last one I need to do just more for organization base is, actually, we wanted to run here. And we want to add a task, add a tag. And remember when I said at the beginning that I always create a rule of thumb, which is a rule in my lead flow, which is I want to add all my contacts into a bulk list tag. So the tag here, I wanted to add them to is bulk list. That will keep everything organized, especially when you're sending out these batch emails and these different automation rules. So our new lead flow is essentially done. We're going to immediately send an email, welcome to the family. We're going to add a tag, which is bulk list. The day after, we're going to create a task, which is a welcome to the family call. Lastly, on the 7th day of them being entered into the database, we want to send them that value email. We're going to hit save. Now, how does somebody get triggered to be enrolled into this workflow? To do that, we're going to head over to automation. We're going to add an automation. And here is where it gets a little bit complicated, because what I think Follow Up Boss does great is it's a very sleek, easy to use interface. You can call, text, email throughout, and you can create this automation. But the trigger for Follow Up Boss makes it a little bit more difficult. And we're going to have to go to a third-party app to make sure everything is seamless and everything is working. But what do I want the trigger to be? I.e., what do I want when something happens to a client file? What is that change? So they can be enrolled in this workflow or this action plan that I've created, this welcome to the family flow. So to do that, I'm going to do a tag added. And the tag that I would like added is new lead. Okay. When a new lead tag is added to a client file, I would like them to be enrolled to an action plan, which is new lead flow. Once they've completed it, we're going to hit save. We're going to turn that on. Now, how do you add this tag to a new lead? You can do it manually when you add in a person. Let's say I'm adding in test client, test at FTGU Academy.com. Oh, yeah, we'll actually do that. Info at FTGU Academy.com. Phone number, just a random number. And we're going to add this person. I might have done that really fast. To add a person manually, you can just click this circle on the top right here of the bar. And then what you can do is you can add a tag, which is new lead. If you add that new lead tag and you hit save, they will automatically be enrolled to this action plan, which is new lead flow. And they'll start to take some time, but they'll start to get this email. If you would like to create some true automation using Follow Up Boss, you're going to have to go to a third-party application called Zapier. Or there's others, but I think Zapier is just the easiest one to use. They make it very easy to be the connector of sorts. And again, the reason why is that you can't create through here a rule, through Follow Up Boss, a rule to go and add a tag automatically. And you can see here, the welcome to the family email was sent to them. Now, through Zapier, I'm going to be building this very simple Zap for you. I'm going to first hit this create button. So I'm going to hit create a Zap. I want to do follow-up boss to follow-up boss. So the trigger being follow-up boss. When a new contact is added, I've already added my follow-up boss account to Zapier. So we're going to hit continue. Test trigger. They're going to pull up one of the last people that were added. So where's our test sub person here? There we go. This is our test. So we're going to continue with the selected record. I just went through the email address, which is the one I just used to create this contact. And then we're going to go back to follow-up boss. And we want to add a tag to a contact. And then you need to, for the required part, the contact phone or email or ID, that is more the anchor. So it needs to pull data from somewhere on the trigger point, number one. So we're going to put primary email address. And then what tag do we want to add them in? We're going to add new lead. I believe that's what we said is new lead is that tag. You could also here add them to bulk list as well, but let's just do new lead for now. We're going to hit continue. Actually, here to test it, why don't we delete new lead here? And then we're going to continue. And we're going to test this. Okay, that was a success. A tag was added. Let's see. Here we go. The tag was added through a follow-up boss and Zapier integration. We can name it the Zap on the top, new lead tag for follow-up boss, whatever you'd like to name it to keep organized. And lastly, let's hit this publish button. Now, no matter how you add a contact into your database, that can be either through a manual ad, that can be through a landing page that you've created that integrates to your follow-up boss. That could be from a spreadsheet you import. When a new contact, we've created now the rule when a new contact is created, they're enrolled in this action plan, which is new lead flow. They get an email welcoming them to the family. A tag is added, which is bulk list, but we can also do that through Zapier. A welcome to the family call task is created for you 24 hours after. And lastly, an email, a value email is sent to the lead. I would definitely recommend everyone trying to add this automation to your database. And the main reason is that you need to focus on prospecting, especially in today's market. You need to focus on prospecting. You need to focus on providing value to your database. It'll take time out of your day to add someone into your database and then manually send the welcome to the family email, making sure that a call is created 24 hours after or a nurturing call is created and a value email sent out. These are touch points that you can leverage when you prospect or you connect with them in the future, and you're adding that much more of a wow factor anyways. All of that was done. It took me 10 minutes to build. All of that was done in 10, 15 minutes because I knew how to implement action plans and automation through Follow-Up Boss. The last action plan I wanted to create is a new lead. A general follow-up action plan. I think a good rule of thumb, and I've already created it, so I'm not going to do it again, but I'll talk to you about this. A good rule of thumb for following up with your database in a perfect world is try to call them every 3 to 4 months. We call that in our real estate company just a general follow-up. The script is always the same. It is, hey, Steven, this is Tyler. We connected a few months ago. I'm that investment savvy realtor, to pull up a little bit of where you connected with them. Wanted to give you a quick call to make sure you're still getting our emails. Oh, you are? Fantastic. Oh, you're not? Totally understand. That's actually why I wanted to connect with you. Some of my emails do go into, it seems like, my insider's junk folder. If you don't mind, put me on speaker for a second and search my email. info@ftguacademy.com, or you see it in the spam, just make sure to mark it as not spam, to whitelist it, just so you can see my emails moving forward. Just so you know, I send an email once a month, and they're solely value and educational. I want to make sure that you stay informed with the current state of the market, so you can make the best decision on yourself as an investor, as a purchaser, as a seller. Since I do have you on the phone, how has everything been with your real estate portfolio? How have things been? Let them talk. You ask open-ended questions. That's great. Since I have you on the phone, what has helped a lot of my insiders in the past is to sit down and build what we call a real estate action plan. It's a 30-minute call with myself where I get to learn about who you are as an insider, as an investor, your current challenges and successes you're experiencing, and how I might be able to help build a short-term and long-term real estate plan for you. The reality is, Stephen, I can't help everybody, but I know from my experience putting pen to paper and having this brainstorming of such, it'll help provide you that clarity so you can make the best decision in your portfolio. When is the best time for us to have a quick 30-minute conversation? Tuesday at 3, Wednesday at 7. The reason why I asked when is the best time instead of are you interested in this is typically we like to ask open-ended questions when you're speaking to an insider, especially when you're going through the general follow-up. Regardless of what they say, you always close with a next point of contact. Thank you so much. Stephen, totally understand that you weren't ready for a real estate action plan. I'm going to give you a call in a few months to check in. But in the meantime, keep an eye out for my emails. I'm going to be hosting an upcoming event in the next few weeks. I'd love to see you there. And that is the call itself. But going back to the action plan, you shouldn't have to always think about who to call today. And this action plan will help, or this automation will help streamline your business. And essentially what I've done is I've created a task, which is called a 3-month check-in. And can we edit this a little bit? Yeah. So immediately when this action plan is triggered, you get a task which is called 3-month check-in. It's a call assigned to this person. The day after, we're going to remove a tag that's called general follow-up. And then 90 days later, so 3 months later, there's going to be some automation, which is that they're going to add a task called general follow-up. This will bring them back to the top, and then you get that 3-month check-in so that you can just go to your tasks every day. Because in the perfect world, as you're adding leads into the database, they shouldn't all come at the same time. They should come in periodically based off of when their create date is. And you're going to be able to see these tasks here. Again, to create that into motion, you're going to go to automations. You're going to create an automation, which is called general follow-up. The tag, the trigger is the tag general follow-up. Their phone, when the phone it works. So when they have a phone number known, that's what that means here. Their condition, I created a condition, which is when their phone is good. We're going to enroll them in the general follow-up action plan. And the last part of Followupboss specifically, you need to say that when they're completed, they can be ran into this automation multiple times. Because if you don't have this checked off, it means that they're only allowed to be enrolled in this once, which means that you'll only get that 3-month check-in, not the 6-month check-in, not the 9-month check-in, not the 100-month check-in. You want to click this so that they'll always be enrolled in this once a tag is added, which is general follow-up, which is here. I'm just going to showcase it one more time. General follow-up. Immediately, when a general follow-up tag is given, they get a 3-month check-in call. Remove one tag from remove this tag the day after, and then add that same tag 3 months after. So then they'll be re-enrolled into it. Lastly, to create things actually a lot more connected, you can do something like this. So in your new lead, and this is where playing around with it, you can actually. While I was talking, I thought about a problem, which is how do they originally get enrolled into this? You can do it in their new lead flow. So when they get added in to the database, they get these emails, welcome to the family, the tags, all that. But what we can do is on the 30th day, what would that be? That would be on the 30th day, we can also add a tag, which is general follow-up. Now, both automation, general follow-up, and welcome to the family are speaking to one another. Now, I know I went through a lot here. And for the tech-savvy individuals, and be okay if you're not tech-savvy, in my experience, I only know a handful of people that can actually just look at the CRM platform and do it themselves. If you're tech savvy, watch the recording and add in some of these parts that I spoke about, especially the automation. Now, if you aren't as tech savvy and you want to learn how FTGU Academy can actually do this for you, that includes cleaning up your database, that includes adding in automation to streamline your business, as well as do calls with you, head to FTGUacademy.com/consultation. I'm going to have Stephen put that link into the calendar, and I'll actually show you right here. This is the website, FTGUacademy.com/consultation. It's not going to cost you anything. Head there. It's a 30-minute call with Jazz, who is the person that has instilled all of this knowledge in myself. I didn't know how to do any of this 5 years ago. What I did is I heard the different plans that he thought we should have in a real estate company, and I learned how to add this automation and book a consultation with them. Again, it's FTGUacademy.com/consultation. Click a date, click a time, and fill your information in. Before I end the webinar, I did want to go through some of the Q&A, and let me just pull up some of it. Yeah. I'll start from the bottom, which is, are you able to add only select new leads to the Zapier automation tag? For example, I want only new leads from an AD or book call, but I don't want to add automation to a new lead that I add manually. Yeah. So what you can do is let me share my screen. So what you could do is, if I'm understanding the question correctly, and let me pull back for a second here. So you only want to add a tag depending on what they do. So what you can do is you don't necessarily, you might actually have to do that through automation. So you could create an action plan that is a new lead flow, for example, that I did. And then the trigger could be also new lead. And instead, so automation, you can go to new lead automation. Where is that? Search it. Let's go here for 1 second. Yeah, and again, if you want it done while I'm looking this up, if you want it done for you, just go to FTGUacademy.com/automation. But let's say we do this automation. Instead, we can do the tag added being new lead calendar. Okay. So I added a new tag, and then we can enroll them into this. Or really, now I'm thinking about it, because you can do a few ways. You can also add a condition, which is tag is not exclude anybody that's in your general database. You can do things like that. You can exclude people so people can avoid it. But essentially what you would do, if I'm understanding the question correctly, is you would create a new tag depending on how they're booking it. And then you can go to Zapier. You can create a new Zap. The trigger would be when they book. So Followupboss, let's see if they have it through Followupboss, but it could be through Calendly as well. Like if you have a Calendly connection, you can go trigger Calendly when they book, invitee created. You can sign in, and then when they book that specific Calendly, you can go here to Follow-Up Boss, add the tag as new lead dash calendar. Now let's go to the next question. Where can we find the recording for this? We'll send you an email with the recording, but do me a favor, head over to info@ftguacademy.com. Just send us an email just so we don't forget you, just in case we don't have that email. Gotham, will the recording be shared after? Yes. Anonymous, are you able to add only select new leads to the Zapier automation tag? For example, we answered that one. Can you share this template? I can. Mandy, head over to info@ftguacademy.com. Let us know that you wanted to have these email and text and call templates, and I'll send them over to you. How do you put your headshot on the email signature? Let us head over here. To tell you the truth, what Follow-Up Boss did for mine, because I didn't actually add my signature when I created this account, it pulled my template from Gmail. So if you have a G Suite and that's your template, it'll pull it for you. But to add your signature, you could share my screen, go to Follow-Up Boss, go to settings on the top right. I believe your signature should be here. Yep, signature at the bottom. And then you can add your thumbnail here, edit, and then you can import signatures or you can add images at the bottom here. To do that, you go click the circle on the far right circle, hit my settings, and the signature is here. Is there any drip campaign or automated templates for different campaigns? Yes. Depending on what the trigger is, you can create a plethora, an unlimited amount of supplies and touch points, depending on what you want to accomplish. Our academy does offer different templated drip campaigns that have worked well for our 11,826 investors that we work with. But really, I would ask myself if I were trying to do a new drip campaign, who am I trying to target this to? What type of education am I trying to provide to them first? And what's the end? What's the end goal? From there, the trigger is very easy. I would use a tag as a trigger. I just think that's so simple. Or a form submission. And then just enroll them and depending on what you want to provide to them. This is fantastic. Thank you, Natalia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, the recording will be sent out, as I said. Does Follow-Up Boss come with the website? It does not, but you can integrate it with Squarespace or any other web-based platform to create your website. There are CRM platforms like Sphere, for example, that give you a website attached and the ability to create landing pages. It's about really touching there. It's about knowing what's important to yourself in a CRM platform. If you want something that's easy to use, Follow-Up Boss, especially like with the automation. I think Follow-Up Boss has some really easy creations and just an interface to create some automation. What other platforms does, like for example, Sphere or KV Core, they give you the ability to have these websites connected with realtor.ca, create like squeeze pages, prospect searches very easily, but the interface is very clunky and hard to use. So it's just about what's more important to you. Can we change phone number when sending texts? Yes, but it's a phone number they give you. So that's why I recommend personally, my phone's in the office, just use your phone. I send out mass texts through my phone. I know it takes a little bit more time, but it's more personal. Can we use our own number? How is it going to update the conversation and follow up? You have to use a number that they provide for you. Essentially, that's why when I do calls, I manually enter in the number and I'll just log a call or I'll log a text. Oh, here, yeah, I'll show you. So what you would do actually is it's right here in your settings. So settings, you can see here, personal number. You can change the number, but you can't put your own. Like for example, I'm looking up 416. There's nothing here. 226, nothing. 604, and they give you some abilities. Actually, for BC, to our West Coast, some of our BC realtors, that's nice. You can actually get more of a personal number, but for GTA, where I am, I haven't been able to find any. Oh, yeah, let's try 647. Okay, there we go. We get some 647 ability. So let's say, for example, we're okay with this 490-4408. And that's now our number. And then it'll automatically update when you're sending text as this number. Can we make calls via Followupboss? You can. To do that, you would go to people, Chang, I'm picking on them today. And then you click this number right here. And then it's calling directly from your phone. All you have to do is on your phone, it will have a number to pick up. You just hit pick up and then it'll connect you to Chang.
There's an app.
And there's also a Followupboss app, actually. That's a good point. Can you tell one more time about the cleaning process? Oh, cleaning up your database. So I'll end there. Cleaning up your database is so critical. What I would recommend doing is export, no matter what CRM platform you use, export everything. Go through line by line, contact by contact. Is this a real person? Is this a person you've connected with in the last 6 months to a year? Is this someone you want to connect to? If it's a no, delete them. Once you have a list of people you think you want to add to your database, if you haven't called them recently, call every single person before you add them in. Say, we believe in permission-based marketing. This is what I'm going to be sending out. I would love your feedback on it. Are you okay if I send you an email? If they say yes, there's someone that you can add to your database. And once you get a clean list, you'll then go and import them into your CRM. Everybody, I can speak about CRMs for hours. Again, if you would like to stay connected, keep an eye out for our emails, info@FTGUacademy.com. A ton of them, just like I was preaching today, we practice what we preach here. They're always educational to provide you value so you can build on your foundation of your sales business. If you would like to learn how we can automate and clean up your CRM and to do calls with you, visit FTGUacademy.com/consultation. We will not let you down. Thank you, everybody.